Hello everybody and welcome back to Perjury. Today we are continuing the second case. We have arrested? What? Arrested, I think Oliver Curry was his name. And we're going to interrogate him. Let us begin. April 16th, 3:30 p.m. Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, Viewing Room. Here I am again. Outside the interrogation room. I took the opportunity on the way over to clean out my notes. You seem nervous, Miss Assistant. Of course I'm nervous. Interrogating one person was hard enough. Now I have to do it with the lawyer in the room? I'm not qualified for any of this. Why aren't you handling this? 'Cause fuck you. I'm lazy. You should think more highly of yourself. You've got a perfect confession record. Most detectives would kill for that. Yeah, a perfect record of one. Terrible thieves are one thing. I dealt with customers trying to swindle my dad enough times to handle that. But I've never dealt with a lawyer. She's just another obstacle in the way of the truth. Remember, nothing she says can change the facts. This is a test of logic and reason, same as before. As long as we have the facts on our side, the truth will reveal itself. You're going to get us a confession, Miss Assistant. I'll keep Mrs. Eubank off your back. If anything goes wrong, I'll be the one taking the fall. I trust you to see this through. What if we missed something? What if Mr. Curry is innocent? Well, that's what we'll find out. Just trust your instincts, Miss Assistant. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, let's go. Here's this. Hold it. Miss Earl, what's wrong? Ernest, I don't know what you did back at the estate, but the captain is livid. He wants you in his office immediately. The captain will have to wait. We have an interrogation to conduct. This isn't even your department, Ernest, if the captain finds out. Have I ever led you wrong before, Sue? I need you to trust me on this. Keep the captain busy. I'll handle him after this is done. I never saw you. But if you two mess this up, I won't be able to protect your jobs. This applies to you too, Justina. No. If I lose this job, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. Don't worry about it. We have everything we need to win this case. But we only proved he went to Chandra's room. I don't have grounds to arrest the man. When the police arrived this morning, Ferris was with Detective Swift, and Owen was snooping around Chandra's bedroom. Oliver's the only one unaccounted for. I hope you're right, Detective. Let's get started. April 16th, 3:32 p.m. Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, Interrogation Room. Hi. Now that we're all here, let's get started. Miss Assistant, please read the judge's codes. Here we go again. We have read your rights, and you are fully aware that this interrogation is recorded as deemed by law. Unless stated otherwise, everything you say is of your own free will and is not coerced in any way. However, you'll be held in custody until it has been deemed that you can't be charged with any crime. Thank you, Miss Assistant. Oliver Curry, now that you have a lawyer, we'd like to ask you a few questions. Were you in Miss Lee's bedroom this morning? While my client acknowledges that he was indeed in Miss Leah's bedroom, he denies having anything to do with her attack. My client was simply looking for Miss Leah, and upon finding out she was not in her room, he left. I wish it was that simple. Someone attacked Miss Lear and it wasn't the thief. Monsieur and Miss Lear were working together. She'd have no reason to attack Miss Lear. Have you considered that they may have had a falling out, Detective? Perhaps this Monsieur wanted the money for herself. By the way, my client is not involved. Mr. Curry, why were you really in Chandra's room at the time of the attack? I was just looking for her. I swear it. Why were you looking for her? Does that matter? I have a right to privacy. You don't need to answer. You don't need to answer that, Oliver. Look, Detective, I don't care what sob story that thief gave you, but you have no grounds to try and pin this on my client. Hannah might be a thief, but you wouldn't simply kill her dearest friend. I'll stake my badge on it. You have no proof of my client being at the scene of the crime, only at Miss Leah's bedroom. We'll see about that. Mr. Curry, just give us your official statements as to your movements at the time of the crime. Tell them the truth, Oliver, and this will all be over soon. Oliver Curry's statement. First course, visiting Chandra. After finishing breakfast, I decided to speak with Chandra privately. I thought she was in her room, but when I looked, she wasn't there. Looking back, she must have been in the trophy room already. After all, she called the police from the phone in that room, and that's where you found her. Then I passed Mr. Eubank on my way back to the kitchen. That's where I remained until Chandra was found. I knew this would be harder. It's too soon to give up. If Oliver is the one who attacked Chandra, then she couldn't have been attacked in the trophy room. Think of what would have to be true for that to be possible. You'll find the answer. A way to prove Chandra wasn't attacked in the trophy room. Do I have anything like that? What exactly did you want to talk to her about? Don't answer that, Oliver. Miss Smith, why is that at all important? My client has a right to privacy, you know. Unless, of course, you can shed some light on the matter. Should I try to push for an answer or drop it? That conversation is critical. It could explain why Oliver attacked her. You really don't give up, do you? Oliver, tell her what you were talking to Chandra about. Dinner. I was going to ask her about dinner preparations. Happy now, Miss Smith? You've thoroughly wasted all of our time. There's no way that's the truth of the matter. He's lying, I know it. But I don't think pressing any further is going to do any good. Better move on. She wasn't there. Did you have some reason to believe she'd be in her room? Well, after she delivers breakfast, that's normally where she goes. But wasn't she asked to clean Mr. Eubank's golf club? Why wouldn't you think to check there? We could spend all day asking whys and why nots. My client checked her room, not the trophy room. Unless you have proof otherwise, let's move this along. Looking back, she must have been in the trophy room already. Quite the assumption to make. But how do we know she wasn't in the bedroom still? I just told you I didn't see her. Well, yeah, but maybe she was hiding in the wardrobe. And why, pray tell, would she be doing that? I have some more questions to ask you. Let's continue. So, she called the police from the front bedroom, and that's where you found her. That's where we think she called from. But she could have called the police from anywhere. Then how exactly did her body end up in the trophy room? I shouldn't have to explain this to you, but bodies don't teleport. Maybe the culprit moved the body. You think we wouldn't notice someone dragging a body around? What the fuck was that? Fair point. Still, something doesn't seem quite right about all of this. Then I passed by Mr. Eubank on my way back to the kitchen. Did Mr. Eubank say what he was doing there? Like, say, looking for something? You've slandered my husband enough for today. Leave him out of this. Lesson learned, don't bring your husband into this. That's where I remained until Chandra was found. Why didn't you just keep looking for her? Seems a little strange to just give up so easily. I can't just leave the kitchen unattended for too long. If those two were to show up. Besides, I still had cleaning to do there. And what a lovely job you did of it. That kitchen was immaculate. Okay. This seems the most suspect. The trivia room telephone wasn't connected anywhere. That could work, I just need to find the right statement. Okay. Okay, yeah, this, yeah. It's true, Mr. Curry, that there's a phone in the trophy room. However, Miss Lear couldn't have used that phone. When we checked the trophy room, that phone wasn't even connected anywhere. Preposterous. Huh? How do you know that phone wasn't connected prior to the attack? Have you considered that the thief could have done that to try and cover their tracks? Besides, where else could you have called the police from? I'm glad you asked, Mrs. Eubank. Allow me to show you. This is what Miss Lear phoned the police on. There's another phone in Miss Lear's own bedroom, which had been damaged, almost like the phone was dropped. The voicemail she left was abruptly cut off when she was attacked. Phone breaking would explain that. That's complete conjecture, Miss Smith. And you know it. How do you know that Miss Lear's phone wasn't already broken? Miss Lear was in the trophy room. We already know this much. I forget which Ace Attorney game it was, but in one of them somebody said, "I'll take unlikely over impossible." Allow me to explain. Rebuttal. Rebuttal. A delightful explanation. We've already established that Miss Lear was in the trophy room. Not only is that where her body was found, there's also a solid reason. Owen had asked her during breakfast to clean one of his golf clubs. It is clear she never had the chance to do so, as the thief intercepted her then. I thought Oliver would be the only one we had to question. It's her job as a lawyer to speak on behalf of her client. Don't let it get to you. If Oliver is guilty, your argument is sure to have a hole in it. And what if Oliver is innocent? If that's really the truth, then that's what we'll reveal. Don't focus on finding a lie, but rather, why the evidence doesn't support her claim. I agree, she must have been there at some point. But she could have left and returned to her room. Why was her body in the trophy room then? Maybe she came back before she was attacked? Miss Assistant, you realize that would mean Oliver didn't attack her, right? Just speculating on possibilities. Let's carry on. Not only is that where her body was found, there's also a solid reason. Why was the landline there disconnected then? As I stated before, perhaps the thief hid it away to cover their tracks. That's ridiculous! Why would a thief hide a phone? Why did the thief break into our home in broad daylight to begin with? We can speculate on their reasons all we want, but unless you have proof otherwise, let's drop it. One had asked her during breakfast to clean one of his golf clubs. Right, he mentioned that a friend wanted to borrow it. Why make her clean it? Waited? My husband spends most of his day in the office, so it doesn't encounter Chandra often. He saw her during breakfast, that's when he mentioned it. Chandra was always prompt in her duties. If you ask me, I think he just wanted an excuse to search her room. It's clear she never had a chance to do so, the thief intercepted her then. How are you so sure she didn't have a chance to clean the club? It's just an assumption. I can't imagine any other reason she'd be lingering in that room. Since if I can prove her wrong here, she won't have much of a leg to stand on. I mean, obvious golf club.
way she could have been cleaning her club in the trophy room. However, Mrs. Eubank is claiming she never had the chance to. Just need to prove her wrong. Mrs. Eubank, Chandra was asked to clean that golf club, was she not? She was, but she clearly never got the chance to do so. But there's an issue there. She did. We found the golf club partially cleaned. She must have been interrupted while cleaning it. Well, I suppose you're correct. It's clear the thief attacked her while she was cleaning it. My argument stands firm. I wouldn't be so sure, Mrs. Eubank. There's a critical flaw in your theory, and I can prove it. Miss Lear couldn't have cleaned the club in the trophy room, and this is why. The cleaner for the golf club is found... That should be was. The cleaner for the golf club was found in Chandra's room, not the trophy room. It's clear that Chandra took the golf club into her bedroom, and as she was cleaning it, she called the police. That's when she was attacked. Hang on. How do you know she didn't just wet a rag with cleaner and take it to the trophy room? Akin to bring a packet of ketchup instead of an entire bottle.
That would be impossible. There's nothing in the trophy room with golf cleaner on it besides the golf club.
Then how did the club get downstairs? Why is the cleaner upstairs but not the club? If our culprit wanted to make it seem like the trophy was the real crime scene, they would need to move the golf club. They brought the club down with Chandra, but since the cleaner was stashed away in her dresser, they likely didn't notice it. Critically, whoever attacked her must not have realized that Chandra hadn't finished cleaning the club. Completely baseless. This is all nothing more than just a pet theory. And there is one thing you've overlooked during it. And what would that be? You've got to explain why Miss Lear wouldn't call the police from her bedroom. Allow me to explain.
A tea poorly brewed.
If Miss Lear was in her room, why exactly would she call the police? If she was in the trophy room, it's likely that she saw the thief returning to the scene of the crime from the window. Therefore, she decided to call the police, fearing the worst. On the other hand, nothing in her room would cause her to call the police. Do we really have to play Mrs. Eubank's game?
We need an ironclad case. Otherwise we won't be able to make this stick in court.
Then I have no choice. Time to break this statement. Since she's wrong about the thief, what caused Chandra to call the police? Perhaps she had a change of heart. After all, from what Fi told us, it seems her husband was suspicious of Chandra. She could have feared for her life. My husband was nothing but good to Chandra. She was family. If my husband suspected Chandra's involvement in the robbery, he would have spoken with her civilly. I suppose that wouldn't cause someone to call the police. There has to be something in that room that would have made her afraid. She was in that room, it's likely that she saw the police returning to the scene of the crime from the window. How would the thief even get to her? The window only unlocks from the inside. She would have had the window open. But why not just shut and lock the window if she saw the thief? People don't act rationally when they are afraid. She must have thought the police were her best option. I guess she has a point. And therefore she decided to call the police, fearing for the worst. And why would she turn her back on the attacker? If she saw her coming, wouldn't she choose to face her? I can't explain her actions, but Detective Swift played for us the recording earlier. You could clearly tell from her voice that she didn't know she would be attacked. She's right, I doubt she saw her attacker. But why? She had nothing in the room to cause her to call the police. What do you mean? She clearly called the police because she saw someone coming. If she was cleaning a golf club, why exactly would she call? Maybe the phone call is unrelated to the attacker. Do I have something to prove that?
Nope.
The window was open. She could have seen her attacker from there. And how, pray tell, would her attacker have gotten to her from outside? Do you think they... Well, they could have. Maybe our attacker is a skilled rock climber. Hey, Oliver, do you rock climb in your spare time by chance? My passion is cooking, not something as mundane as rock climbing. I wouldn't call rock climbing mundane, but okay. Hey, rock climbing isn't mundane!
Let's bring things back on track. I apologize for my assistant's outburst.
Ouch. Better try something else. The reason. Something was stolen from her. Checked her room and there was a missing document from her room. Pray tell, what would that be? Well, we don't know, but it could... I did not mean to press that. Do you even know why it's missing? Well, no, but we might know. Might is not enough. You need something more tangible as proof. Ouch, better try something else. Okay, so I don't think it's that statement. I was actually crime scene during the robbery. For someone representing a chef, your argument is half-baked at best. Excuse me? Do you have an argument to make, or are you trying to insult me? Well, I was just joking. Tough crowd, better not try that again. Sherry. No. So, okay. We're completely off track. Were you aware that your husband was spying on Chandra? Excuse me? What on earth are you talking about? Why, that's a slanderous accusation. Detective, run your little assistant in before she gets herself in trouble.
Come on, Miss Assistant.
There was a hidden camera in Chandra's bedroom. When we found it, it was broken. It's clear Chandra had found the camera in her room while she was cleaning. And, after breaking it, she decided to call the police. She must have been attacked at that moment while her back was turned. How do you know my husband put it there? Well,
I think my assistant got a little too eager there. Someone certainly put a camera there, and Chandra did break it, but officially we have no means to trace who put it there.
I'm glad that's settled. As for the camera itself, what makes you think she found it today? What if she found it on a different day? Simple. That's because Chandra would have reported it. Camera had cleaner on it. Mr. Eubank would have... It's a cleaner. It had the golf cleaner. We found some fresh golf cleaner on the camera. The same that we found in her room. She must have had some on her hands when she discovered the camera. If she found the camera any other time, it would have dried up by now. It's clear now that you're going to cling on to this pet theory of yours. But all this time you failed to consider that Chandra was not found in her bedroom. Her body was found an entire floor below. Bodies don't teleport, and my client couldn't have possibly moved her. And why is that? I'll let my client explain. Right, here goes. Oliver Curry's statement. Second course. An impossible escape. Even if I attacked Chandra, the only exit to the room was the door. Mr. Eubank saw me leave the room. He would have noticed me carrying her body. If Mr. Eubank was in Chandra's room the whole time, he would have found her. This is why he couldn't have attacked her. If Chandra was in the room with Oliver, isn't that enough proof?
The body was found on the floor below, so there is still room for doubt. No judge would ever accept a guilty charge without more evidence.
What about a pro-police judge? We could stack the deck in our favor.
Don't be silly. Judges are picked randomly. They don't just have one judge to handle every case we come across.
What do you mean? I'm not in charge of every case there is. Blasphemous. Can you guys believe this? So much for doing things the easy way.
Miss Assistant, when you went up there, did you find any hidden doors?
Nope. There's only one door in the whole room. Oliver would have had to enter through there.
Then Mr. Eubank had to have entered the same door. So if the body was moved out of the room, it couldn't be through the door.
Mr. Eubank saw me leave the room. Did you say anything to him? I told him that Chandra wasn't in her room.
Yeah, did he say anything to you?
Not much. Just that he was looking for something. That must have been when he searched her files. But it seems unrelated to the attack. He would have noticed me carrying her body. What if you hid the body in something first? Anything big enough to hide a body in, my husband would have noticed. And if I had anything like that, he would have mentioned it. Well, he did lie to us, twice. But he'd have no reason to mention that, not to mention that. Mr. Eubank was in Chandra's room the whole time, he would have found her. You could have hidden the body somewhere in that room. That's why you didn't find it. Then you just moved the body after he left. It didn't take long for the police to arrive. My client wouldn't have had time to move the body by then. Maybe so. Let's move on. That is why I couldn't have attacked her. Well, even if we don't know why you moved the body, you could have still attacked her. If that's your argument, I'll enjoy ripping it apart in court.
Focus, Miss Assistant. There's a flaw here somewhere and we can't make this case stick unless we find it.
You could at least do a better job of helping me find it.
The only exit was the door, huh?
Actually, Mr. Curry, there is another exit. The window. The window? You think I threw her out the window and she landed in the room below? You wanted another exit. The window is an exit. If that's your angle, then you really are desperate. It should be obvious why the window couldn't have been used, but allow me to explain it for you. It's simply impossible that Miss Lear was moved through the window.
Allegro? Ooh.
Fall from that height would have left noticeable injuries. However, the only injury she had was a head wound. Unless you have some way for a body to move down a story without getting injured, your theory is moot. Hey, detective, any ideas?
Well, it's possible a ghost did it.
Don't even joke about ghosts. Who knows what they are capable of?
Don't tell me you believe in those campfire stories. The body must have been lowered from the window somehow. You just need to think outside the box a bit.
If any ghosts are reading my mind, please haunt Detective Hunt and not me. Anything is possible, Mrs. Eubank. You just have to be a bit creative. Then why don't you use your head a little bit and explain how it was done? Well, you didn't have to be so blunt about it. Falling that height would have left notable injuries. I'm not implying that Oliver chucked her body out of a window. Perhaps he put something below the window for her to fall on, like a big pillow. And did you find anything like that? Well, no, but... Unless I have something like that, this won't get me anywhere. It was a head wound. How do you know those were her only injuries? When we found her this morning, I helped Detective Swift quickly check that she was alive. The only wound she had was fuck.
Seems that I need to give her talk about letting potential witnesses check bodies. That does line up with what we were given.
Well, at least Oliver wasn't out to kill her. Unless she had an injury nobody noticed. I should move on. But from such a high place?
Should be possible, assuming you have the right equipment. But Oliver would have to have brought it. Or use something found in Chandra's room.
If you want to follow this theory, you need to find something that could be used to lure Chandra. Otherwise, it's best to move on.
Shit. Not what I meant to do. Bedsheet.
Actually, there was a way she could have moved through the window unharmed. We found a bedsheet stuffed away in the trophy room. The sheet itself was covered in dirt, meaning it likely touched the ground outside. After attacking Chandra, Oliver wrapped her in the golf club in the sheet and simply lowered them to the floor below.
Hold on. That sheet could have always been there. How do you know it came from Chandra's room?
That's easy. This is how we know where the sheet came from.
Can I go? I can't do it like that. I can't go to the bottom through the top.
When we investigated Chandra's room, we found that her bed had been stripped of its sheet. We never found that sheet anywhere, because it was stuffed in the trophy room the whole time. You can't be serious! I am serious. Just look at him. Oliver is clearly strong enough to have lowered Chandra with a sheet. It's the only way her body could have been moved. I believe that's all we need to prove that Oliver is the culprit.
Enough! Why are you so determined on pinning this crime on me? This whole time you haven't even considered that your whole case is missing a key ingredient. Motive. Chandra was not only my co-worker, but a friend. We were very close, she and I. Why would I attack Chandra? I have no reason to. Unless you can provide a motive, you've got no grounds to charge me.
A motive, huh? Guess I haven't considered that. Something made Oliver want to attack Chandra. This is it, Justina. Time to drive the nail into his coffin. You want a motive? I got your motive. The truth is, jealous of Chandra, you want to inspect your job, you have no motive. It's clear to me, Mr. Curry, that you cared about your job a lot. You made that point abundantly clear when we questioned you earlier. I think you never wanted to attack Chandra, but something happened that left you no choice. Fry told us that she spoke to you about Chandra's involvement in the robbery. I think you went to talk to her about it, and when you noticed her calling the police, you attacked her in the heat of the moment. Answer me one question. What was the weapon? The weapon! We never found the weapon. As I suspected, you never did recover it. The culprit must have taken the weapon with them. My client was the culprit. You would have surely found the weapon somewhere.
He must have hidden it somewhere. I tried calling Detective Swift. They couldn't find anything there. Then I demand to be released immediately. Without a weapon, you have nothing. Let me make this perfectly clear. Oliver Curry's statement, final course, a recipe for failure. Ooh. Presto.
If the weapon isn't in the house, it must have been taken. But nobody has left the estate other than the police. There's no way I could have taken a weapon out of the house. I'm not carrying any weapons. You have nothing on me. Detective, what do we do?
I don't know. Our whole case is based on circumstantial evidence. Without anything solid, there's no jury in the world that would convict him.
Where could the weapon be? Detective Swift said it was a flat, blunt object. Is there anything like that he could have used? Detective, are you sure Detective Swift checked the whole house?
She searched every square inch. Nothing has turned up. It must have been taken out of the house.
This doesn't sound good for Chandra. But nobody has left the estate other than the police. That's not completely true. Both of you are here now. Because you forced me here. Both of us came straight here from the estate. If you had a weapon, you'd have seen it. I suppose so. There's no way I could have taken a weapon out of the house. Well, not that we know of, at least. And what do you suspect, a carrier pigeon? It's your job to prove that. If you can't, then good luck getting a verdict. Better keep looking. I'm not carrying any weapons. Detective, did you check him for weapons?
What you see is what you get. He's certainly not hiding anything under his chef hat.
It's called a toque. I would never hide anything under it. What you see is what you get, huh? You have nothing on me. We have everything on you. We just don't have a weapon. I'm sure a jury could be convinced. Then by all means, let's take this to trial. We'll see how strong your case is then.
I'm sorry to say, but we need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. If we can't find that weapon...
Don't worry, Detective, I won't let you down.
You're not carrying any weapons, huh?
There's one place none of us have looked. On Oliver himself. According to Detective Swift, the weapon was a flat, blunt object. Just like the frying pan he has now. The same frying pan he arrived at the crime scene with. That's why nobody has found the weapon. Nobody thought to check Sherry.
Oliver, we need to test your pan for blood.
But why? Just look at it. No blood in sight.
You may have washed the blood off, but traces can be found with the right tools. Of course, if you're innocent, we wouldn't find anything. Right?
This is your last chance to confess, Oliver. Once we test that pan, it's over for you. Oliver, please tell me that they're wrong. No. I can't. Oh. Oliver, how could you? I'm sorry, Faris. I never intended for any of this to happen. But why? Chandra was family, Oliver. Fi told me that she was hiding in the trophy room when the robbery happened. She told me Chandra was taking money from the safe. I confronted Chandra, and she told me that the money wasn't adding up. She said she was going to expose the Eubanks, one way or another. I tried to convince her to change her mind, but she wouldn't listen to me. Then, at breakfast this morning, Owen kept pressuring her. Why do you look so happy? I knew she was afraid. She told me before that she was considering calling the police and confessing to what she did. I wanted to talk to her privately about it. But when I entered her room, I heard her on the phone. She was about to confess. I couldn't let her do it. I didn't know what else to do. This job, it meant everything to me. After being rejected everywhere else, I had a real job. If you and Owen were arrested, I would lose the best job I ever had. I couldn't go back to my family. I wasn't thinking. Before I knew it, she was on the floor. I had no choice but to frame the thief. I thought then Chandra would be safe. I took up your defense because I believed in you. I thought you were truly innocent. I trusted you. I'm so sorry, Faris. After getting his formal confession, Detective Hunt escorted Oliver away.
Jesus.
Miss Smith, before I go, I thought I should apologize for how I acted there. I should be thanking you. Thank me? I thought you hate me. I thought you would hate me. As painful as it is, if you didn't step in, the wrong person would be charged for Oliver's crime. It isn't easy, but at least some good came from it. From all this. There is one more mystery hanging around this case. It seems that everyone believes that your husband is embezzling money from the charity. When we spoke to him earlier today, he denied it, but he was clearly spying on Chandra, and he took something from her room. Is it possible that he stole the evidence from her room? Of course not! We've run our business together for years. He would never do that. We even publicly agreed to pay the stolen half out of pocket. Isn't that proof enough? I take it as proof, I really do. But it's Detective Hunt you have to convince. Seems I misjudged you. If you want to accuse my husband, at least be upfront about it. I'm not accusing him. I still think he's innocent. It's just, all of this isn't really adding up. I'm going to make sure the police handle my former friend fairly. This conversation is over. I might have stepped on a landmine. Well, she looked pissed.
I love your theme. Sophie Swift, on the move.
You're right, Justy. I could be better. I keep thinking about where the money went. I might have pushed her too far. Did you just get back? Yep. I headed back here as soon as I could. In any case, let me be the first to say, congrats! You did it! You solved the case. So proud of you and Red. It wasn't just us. You were a cop too. You're the key to connecting Owen to the scene. Without that, we never would have known about Oliver's involvement. That's not traffic cop work, that's grade A detective work. Thank you, Justy. That means a lot. Hey, tell you what, why don't you tag along with me for drinks later? We could have a proper celebration then. Oh! Yeah, sure. Great! Zephyr and I will be waiting when your shift's over. Before that, though, I think there's one person we've forgotten about. I'm in the interrogation room. I gotta go grab Red and the guest of honor. I have a feeling I know who she means. April 16th, 4:48 p.m. Azure City Police Precinct, number 5, interrogation room. Hi!
Now that we are all here, I want to give you the news. Miss Yor, you're no longer being charged with assault.
What about Chandra?
She is still recovering from her injuries, but she's woken up. We expect to be able to talk to her tomorrow. Now, of course, the robbery charge isn't being dropped. Both of you will still have to answer for that crime.
I expected that, but still. Thank you for finding out who attacked her. I am truly thankful. I take back what I said earlier. You aren't evil.
If you continue to cooperate with our investigation, I'll see if the district attorney can provide you some leniency.
Wait, what investigation? Isn't it over?
Not yet, Miss Assistant. We still have those embezzlement claims to look into. Sears spoke with the captain. Apparently they've both agreed to let you continue to be my assistant. If you'll work with me again, we can finally uncover the truth behind everything.
I want to believe Mrs. Eubank. Embezzlement is unnecessary for someone wealthy like Mr. Eubank. Yet, until I see the answer for myself, I can't take her word for it. I'm in.
So let's go back to our desks. We've got a lot of work to get done.
I spent the rest of the day doing my actual job, paperwork. I didn't see much of Detective Hunt. Miss Earl told me that once the captain found out what happened to Mr. Eubank, Detective Hunt got the biggest dressing down of his career. In the end, the fact that we still solved the case is what saved him from demotion or worse. Today was a day that truly changed my life. I don't know what's in store for me in the future, but I know whatever it is, it will be far more eventful than I could have imagined. April 16th. Yeah? Office. Hello, sir? Did you need something? Lowell, my boy. I'm glad you came. Some information has come onto my desk that I need you to look into. BG Turtles LLC. I want you to get what you can find on this company. Yes, sir. Right away. This would go much smoother without the police snooping around. End of case 2. Alright. Well, I guess we will start case 3 next time. Well, what was that? Oh, there. Complete case 2, conspiracy and perjury. There. Yeah, I have not. I've seen these first 2 cases before. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen past this. So I am very excited. Stuff I've never seen before. Yippee! Anyways, I will see you all next time when we start the 3rd case. Bye-bye!